someone like that to Christ, and they say, well, what now? What do I do now? I have always said, if you'll just read the Gospel of John first. And I remember years ago at the Cowboy Church, we used to buy Bibles by the huge cases of them and give them out. And the price kept going up and going up. And so we finally decided that we would just buy the little Gospel of John. It was about this thick. And they were like 10 cents a piece. And you could buy just thousands of them for a little bit of money. And we gave them out to just hundreds and hundreds of people. Did they all read them? Absolutely not. Some of them threw them away by the time they left where they were. And others of them just threw them down in the floorboard of their vehicle or just tossed them in the trash or whatever. But some people read those things. And I tell you what, if you read the Gospel of John, and Jesus is on every page, that's why he wrote it, to proclaim our Messiah to us, to a lost and dying world. And it's one of the greatest books, in my opinion, in the Bible. Now, next week, just as a little prelude, we want to look at that book of Zechariah, and it's not an easy book, I'm telling you right now. But I did a little contest this week. I sat down to see how long it would take me to read through it. Now, I mean, just read through it. Just start and just read it. Don't stop and ponder anything, but read it. And it takes about 25 minutes, and I don't read real fast. But I would encourage you to read all of it, and then go back and start at the first of it. And it would also be helpful to you if you can find, and we'll talk about this next week, a little bit of his place in history. He was living at the same time of Haggai, and it was at the same time that Ezra was endeavoring to get the temple rebuilt. So if that'll help it place it in your mind, you can go back and forth in the Bible. But it's an amazing book because it not only talks about the judgment of the Israelite nation and how God desires to draw them back in after the captivity, but there are numerous visions that are included in his book, in the book of Zechariah, that point to the Messiah in the end time, and that is really an interesting point for us to focus on. So if you've never studied it, then join with me and study it, and we'll begin next week with verse 1 of chapter 1. All right, anybody have any prayer requests?